Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sundance highlight. I realize the festival is done now, but I've been taking a few days to kind of gather my thoughts on the movies that I saw. I feel like I hit the ground running a little bit too quick with Sometimes I Think About Dying. There are things about that movie that I thought about after I made my video that I wish I could have said there, so here it's going to be a well more thought out, concise video here about one of the other movies I saw about Sundance, and that's Magazine Dreams. Magazine Dreams is the new film starring Jonathan Majors. You may remember Majors from Lovecraft Country, a show that premiered on HBO back in 2020, but you probably know him best for his upcoming roles. He's getting ready to play Kang the Conqueror in the MCU, and he's even going to be the villain in Creed 3 next month. He's been steadily building his resume over the last few years and is quickly becoming one of the fresh new stars to watch. Here, Majors plays a troubled bodybuilder, relentless in his pursuit to be what he believes to be the best. He keeps bodybuilder posters on his wall, obsessively writes his favorite bodybuilder, he maintains an extremely strict diet. He works out every single day to super heavy metal music. I mean, his workouts in this movie are pretty insane, and he doesn't take a day off. And the movie catches him at a spot in his life where he appears to be a shell of a human being. He's having to push through the realization that he may not fulfill the dreams that he hopes to achieve one day. He has major anger episodes to the point where in one scene he's like breaking into a store because they were rude to him. He is extremely socially awkward, like to the point where it's uncomfortable to watch. You're watching this movie like, dude, just get the words out, man. You got this. And he is starting to suffer physically for his use of steroids. The best way for me to describe this movie, I feel like, is that it's similar to Joker from 2019, but with more baby oil and weights. I thought going in that this was going to be a sports film about, relentless pursuit and, following your dreams. However, this turned out to be a really fascinating character study about someone who's clearly unhinged. He's built up this idea of who he needs to be in order to be accepted by other people. And you see through his struggles in this film that he never quite understood what it meant to be human because he's basically alienated himself from the outside world in his pursuit of this goal. He doesn't really talk to anyone other than his grandfather who he cares for. Then he obviously has a history of, violent outbursts because he meets with this therapist or social worker. I can't remember exactly what her role was. But he meets with her throughout the film. And whenever he does try to talk to other people, you can tell that it is hard for him. And he has to speak to himself to try to maintain his composure, but that inner rage still ends up finding a way out, even if he sounds calm. Throughout the film, we see Killian, the main character, search on Google very simple social skills, such as how to get people to like you. Very simple things that you just figure out through social interaction that he just hasn't gotten. As you can imagine, he has a lot of trouble speaking to a girl he has a crush on. And I believe we really only get one scene where he is actually able to verbalize everything he feels in that moment. And legitimately, this scene, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That scene is probably my favorite in all of Sundance, or at least all of the films that I watched from Sundance this year. And the script is rock solid. Writer-director Elijah Bynum absolutely killed it. It showed the struggle Majors' character has had to go through, his rough deal in life, but also doesn't let him off the hook. He does things that are objectively wrong in the film, but the script is still able to make him a sympathetic character. That's why I compare this movie to Joker, because you see the stuff that happens and has happened to Killian. In his case, you see the scars of someone who has been judged for well over a decade now on his physical appearance. All that matters to him is to be physically perfect. Otherwise, in his head, he's not worthy of love. It doesn't make some of the things that he does in this movie okay, obviously, but you can see this character and be able to understand how he got to where he is. Jonathan Majors is remarkable in the movie. It is far and away his best work in my opinion. After watching this film, I am stoked to see him play a villain in the MCU. I've never seen him like this. He was just so raw, so visceral, so emotional, playing a very different character than anything that I've seen him play before. It's my favorite performance from an actor this year at Sundance, and if he isn't on your radar, he absolutely should be. I was enthralled by Magazine Dreams. It's one of my favorite movies I saw at the festival this year. I don't believe it's been acquired by a studio yet, so I don't have an update on when it'll hit a streamer or if it's going to be released in theaters, because I don't think the people producing the movie even know that right now. But when that opportunity arises for you to actually watch this movie, I cannot recommend it enough. Majors is incredible in it. Like I said, Elijah Bynum, he bursts onto the scene with this one. I can't wait to see what that guy does next. And it's just a really well-written, good character study film that kept me hooked in from start to finish. So those are my quick thoughts on Magazine Dreams. I'm gonna have more videos about films I watched at Sundance here within the next week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching this video up to this point. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys next time.